Welcome to today's session. Today, I'm going to be covering Khanmigo, which is an AI tool, a teaching assistant tool. My name is Su Ying. I'm the instructional designer here at Fresno City College. And get started from here. So today I'm going to provide an introduction to Khanmigo as well as do a demonstration of just about 6 of the different tools that are available in Khanmigo. There are more tools than that, but with time constraints and everything, I'm only going to demonstrate 6 of them. But you are more than welcome to explore the different tools and see which ones may help you in your teaching needs then. I'm also going to spend some time on providing tips and suggestions for effective prompting so that we can get better results from AI tools. And then also how AI can be used as a teaching assistant for you as you build your courses and teach your courses then. But before we get started, I just want to provide a disclaimer here. Now, today's session um, uh, is primarily a watch and learn today. There's, I believe Susie said that there's about 100 people that registered. And so with that many people in a Zoom room, uh, we won't have time for hands-on follow-along approach to the use of Khanmigo. At the end of my session and also on the slides, there's links to self-guided resources for those that are eager to get started. And we'll also provide some additional hands-on sessions later in this semester for those that are interested in learning as well. But in the meantime, feel free to just watch and listen and see if Khanmigo would be a tool that fits your teaching style and what you would like to accomplish, in your courses. Let's see. Let me go back one more. Additionally, I want you to share any ideas, suggestions, or things that you've used generative AI tools for that have been helpful for you. And really today we could also use this as a brainstorming session where we can learn from our colleagues and some of the other neat things that we each are doing on our own. And really with AI, we're all still learning this together. Because even from when I submitted my flex session here, things have already changed and whatnot. And so again, we're all just in this together to learn about how AI can be used in the classroom here.
Sue, we do have a question before you get going here. And
Yes.
everyone, my name is Cami. I'm just gonna help Sue out because when she's on the screen, she can't really see the chat. So we have a question. Someone asked, do they have access to Khanmigo's Canvas integration?
Good question. So I'll cover this as well too in another one of my slides. So I'm going to hold off on answering that question, and I'll get back to that then. But yes, good question. So before I get to that question, though, I just want to do a quick poll. So using the chat, on a scale of 1 to 5, how frequently do you use generative AI? So 1 is never, 2, I've tried it maybe once, twice, a few times, 3 occasionally, 4 regularly, and 5 always. I see a lot of 1s and 2s, a couple 4s, nice. That's good. Okay. Always. All right. All right. So we got a good variety, mainly ones, twos, and threes, but we do have um, some folks who are using it quite a bit, which is great. Now, I also want to put a disclaimer out there as well, too, that I did use ChatGPT to assist in my presentation today as well, too. And I'm going to show you and also share with you how, you can use generative AI to help you in some of these tasks um, uh, that you may do every day in your teaching or professionally in your daily tasks. And so I'll share that. But, I think it's important for us to model good use of AI for our students so that they can also gain those skills as well too. So, all right. And I do apologize if my voice gets coarse or if I have to mute to cough. I'm recovering right now. So a good thing that this is a Zoom session for us. Um, and so I do apologize for that though. Okay, so Khanmigo was developed by Khan Academy, which was started by Sal Khan back in the early 2000s. And he started creating videos, video tutorials to help his cousin to learn math. And so he uploaded his videos to YouTube and so that his cousin could watch the videos later and learn at her own pace and everything. And when he did that, more and more people started watching these videos as well too, and pretty much the rest is history then. And so today, Khan Academy is a nonprofit um, um, company and organizations. They still continue to produce videos, and they also have a lot of courses specifically on math and also other topics now as well too. Khanmigo initially started as an AI tutor on the Khan Academy platform. And it's now been updated to be a teaching assistant as well, with different tools that are available for instructors. And so they've also made Khanmigo for Teachers free for anyone to sign up for. And back in fall of 2024, Canvas had announced a partnership with Khan Academy and would provide the Khanmigo tools for teachers for free. And because the California community college system has a contract with Canvas, that was also being covered with our Canvas accounts then, because before that, it was actually, there was a small fee to use these Khanmigo teacher tools, but it would be provided for free through this partnership with Canvas for us. And so that's where that integration in Canvas would have allowed us to use these tools for free. But since I've written my Flex proposal, Khanmigo has now offered their teacher tools for free for anybody to sign up for. And so the integration in Canvas is not necessary because there's nothing that would automatically push it back into our Canvas courses or anything. Anything that we do in Khanmigo, we could still copy and paste and update it in our pages, in our assignments, in our discussions in Canvas. That doesn't mean that there could be, future updates or possible integrations that may happen in the future between these two companies. But at the moment, there are no announcements or updates on any further type of integration. Really, the integration was to allow Canvas users instructors to be able to access the Khanmigo teacher tools then. And so hopefully that answers the question from earlier. Okay, so as I mentioned, Khanmigo is Khan Academy's AI tool that they've customized. One key aspect that sort of sets Khanmigo apart from the other AI tools is its focus on education. So Khanmigo is specifically tailored for the learning environment, and it doesn't require, complex or specific prompts. And really it focuses on the teaching tasks that we do on a daily basis. Conmigo is also advertised as really being like your teaching assistant that helps to streamline, time consuming prep work that we do to help us to organize our lessons, create content more efficiently, and also really for instead of spending hours trying to create material from scratch, we can use Khanmigo to gather resources or develop activities that align with whatever topic or we're covering or whatever learning outcome it is that we're focusing on. And so this really helps us to have more time to focus on the teaching aspect and also to engage with our students and foster those connections and provide that targeted support. So Conmigo is organized into 5 categories. They have a plan category, which focuses on instructional planning, classroom management. This is more focused on crafting discussion prompts, creating, an end of lesson assessment and whatnot. The create category enhance communication streamline assessments, support instructional planning as well. This one, it can be used to generate easy to follow instructions for assignments, create detailed rubrics for setting expectations, designing, class newsletters or summaries or transitions to the next topic. Differentiate are the tools that will help you to tailor instruction to meet diverse student needs and interests. Now, you could use some of these tools to maybe break up some complex text, maybe adjust the text complexity for your students, link lesson content to students' interests or relevancy for their experiences, and then also really just focusing on that engagement and comprehension from the student perspective. And then support, this topic really only has, this category tip only has 2 tools in there, and really it's to streamline and enhance student support services. When I took a look at this, really, if you're using personalized or directed learning for individual students, like for example, having students set SMART goals or whatnot, this would be a tool that you could use to do that. The last category, learn, is really to enhance your professional knowledge and skills. And really this is to maybe refresh your knowledge on various subjects, through quizzing or through getting resources to help you get up to speed on certain topics. And so when I reviewed this, really we would spend a lot of our time maybe in the planning, creating part of the Conmigo tools. I'll log into the platform in a minute, but I wanted to briefly show you how it looks and the list of different activities that are available here. Um, Again, when I created this, the Canvas integration was announced, and it's not necessary, as I mentioned earlier, for you to use that Canvas integration. If you wanted to, you can just Google search Khanmigo tools for teachers, and they'll have a link for you to create an account and be able to use this. Um, that's what I did. And so I just created my own account as well too. If and when we do get the integration in Canvas, Khanmigo will be able to link your account with your Canvas account. And so you don't have to create two accounts or anything like that. Let me put the link in the chat here. And again, if you're eager to get started or you just want to explore and take a look, you can go to that website and sign up for a free account if you do not have one. All right, are there any questions so far?
There is, Sue. There's two questions. The first one asks about plagiarism. Is it effective to detect AI-generated work done by students?
So Khanmigo is not a AI plagiarism tool or anything. When I log in and I take a look at the tools, this really is more teacher focused. So all these tools are from the teacher's perspective on how to create content. It's not a plagiarism checker. That is, I know it's a hot topic for everybody. But we would have to look at alternative options and tools that actually do that specifically. Yes, Karen, let me copy the link here for you. Cami, was there other questions you said?
Yeah, the other one was regarding, are they able to create assignments in Khanmigo that would show up in the Canvas gradebook?
So again, there is no integration that will automatically sync that process. Now you can use Khanmigo to create an assignment or create instructions or whatnot, but we would again have to still copy and paste that into Canvas. So whether it's on a page or an assignment or a discussion, we would still have to copy and paste from Khanmigo into Canvas. There's no direct integration yet. So again, the link is in the chat there if you'd like to take a look, and you can just sign up for a free account. Here I am. I'm already logged into my Khanmigo account here. And actually, let me go back to my presentation. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. Okay. So as I mentioned, there are multiple different tools and that Khanmigo has, but I'm only going to focus on these 6 today. And once I go over the main features of the platform itself, really each different tool that is available, it pretty much functions the same. And so there's not a high learning curve to learn each one separately or whatnot. And you are more than welcome to test out any of the other ones that I'm not going to cover today that you may find helpful for your class and your teaching. The lesson hook is focused on helping to generate activities to engage students on a topic. So especially when you're introducing a new unit or a new chapter, you can use a lesson hook to help you to come up with activities to engage students from the beginning. The real world content generator. This one provides ideas on connecting a topic to real world examples. The discussion prompts tool, it helps us to craft meaningful discussion questions around a specific topic. Clear directions, it will take instructions that we may already have and create an easy to follow version for assignments or any of the activities that we have in our class. Exit tickets can be used to generate maybe end of module reflection or maybe checks for understanding for students after a topic or an activity or an assignment. And then lesson plan, this one, it can provide you a detailed outline and a breakdown by on a specific topic or learning outcome that you would like to meet. And so really lesson plan is I feel like lesson plan is probably the most robust one that would provide you if you're just starting from scratch and you're looking for ideas. The lesson plan would probably be where you would want to start first, and then decide what refine your search and see what it is that you would like to use Khanmigo to help generate for activities or for discussions and whatnot. Then, all right. So with that, I'm going to move over to demonstration here. Okay, now I'm already logged into my account here, and I have my I'm just going to start from the top and sort of work my way down into the different tools that are available. And so up here at the top, explore. Again, these are all the Khan Academy courses. You yourself, because you have an account now, you can enroll and take any of these courses as well too. I do want to point out over on the sort of right-hand side over here, they do have Khan for Educators. And so this is their self-paced Khanmigo for Educators training. And so it pretty much covers what I'm going to cover today as well too, with some tips and ideas and suggestions. But you're more than welcome to enroll in that to get a better idea of how Khanmigo works for instructors then. Up at the top here, here's my Khanmigo. I can switch between the tools and my documents, which I'll explain in a minute. And then here's my account, teacher dashboard. I'm not going to go into detail about this because we don't necessarily set up our classes here in Khanmigo. But if you wanted to, you could just to see how it works and all of that. But for the most part, though, we'll just be going to the Khanmigo tools. And so these are the different Khanmigo tools that are available. There's about, I believe, 20 or so of them that are available specifically for instruction. Again, it's by default, we have all the tools showing. But as I mentioned, there are the 5 different categories that are available that are also color coded here. And so if you're looking specifically at creating, you can click on the Create tab here, and it'll just show you the tools that are specific for creating. Again, under each one of these, there's a little description of what that tool does. And so again, you can browse through and see which one it is that you'd like to use then. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm going to start with Lesson Hook here. So I'm going to click on Lesson Hook. And I'm going to select college as my grade level. And let's say I'm going to use research and integration of sources. So that's going to be the topic. Let's say I teach English and we're going to focus on finding credible sources and whatnot. I can provide additional context if I wanted to. So this is, let's say, academic research. Oh, was there a question or? I think somebody just left their microphone on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on start. So Khanmigo is going to, based off of what I entered, it's going to provide different activities. So there's 3 activities that it came up with here for me. And I can read over each one and select one that fits what I'm trying to do in my class. If I hover over any one of these, you can see there's a little bar that appears. Now, when I click on that bar, I'm selecting that activity and it gives me additional options as well too. I can make changes to this specific one. So maybe I want to refine it to be more specific, or maybe to present in a different way or whatnot. I can try something different. I don't like this one. I want it to generate a different idea or activity, or I can discuss this with Khanmigo then. This document here will continue to contain anything that Khanmigo generates for me. Up at the top here, I can make edits directly in this file here as well, using this menu bar up at the top here. If I wanted to. Now, anything that I do in Khanmigo will be saved, and I'll show you where it's saved after we sort of refine this one a little bit. So let's say I read over these, and I like this one best here. So let me see. If I click on the pencil here, I can have a conversation with Khanmigo to maybe rephrase this for clarity for my freshman students or my first year students. Then maybe I want to add some examples or include some guidelines. These are just, again, suggestions from Khanmigo. I can also type in and refine what it is that I'm searching for here. But instead of that, though, I'm actually going to click on discuss this. And this window is going to pop up on the side here. And so after clicking on discuss this, Khanmigo, it says, okay, this is the activity you selected, and this is the type of activity, this is what it'll help students with and everything like that. And it's going to ask me, do I want to explore how to implement this in my class, or do I want to maybe make any changes to this activity here? So maybe I'm thinking, okay, yeah, this is a good activity. I want to use this one. So I might type in here, okay, let's scaffold this activity for me to use then. And so again, in this little chat here, it provides information for me to scaffold this activity in my class with my students then. And so it's giving me some preparation, maybe during the lecture. This is, how you can start it. Here's how you can facilitate discussion. Here are some ways that you can summarize what it is that's learned and everything like that. So it gives me this as an idea. And so I can take this idea, I like it, or again, I can continue to my conversation with Khanmigo and have it refined to be more aligned with what I am trying to do in my class then. So this one here is lesson hooks. Lesson hooks. um, Now, before I move on to the other one, though, I wanted to go through this part right here as well. Export here allows me to download this entire document here as a Word document. So I can save it to my computer. I can work on it offline, make changes to it if I wanted to. I could save it to my Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive as well too. Oh, that was the other thing that I forgot to mention is that Microsoft has also partnered with Khanmigo to make the Khanmigo tools available for free for Microsoft users, but it's free for anybody now anyway, so it's not really necessary. I can also print um, whatever is generated here as well. If I want to share this, I can share it. So I can share it maybe with a colleague. We're co-teaching or collaborating on a course or on an assignment or on a project. And so I can, share this with one of my colleagues and say, hey, can you take a look at this? What do you think? I like number 3, but let me know what your feedback is and whatnot. And so you're able to share that with your colleagues then as well. Before I move on to the next example, are there any questions about just the features in Khanmigo here?
There is a question about student access. Students with their Microsoft 365 account through the college, can they use the student tool for free?
Um, so the teacher tools here, it's specifically for teachers, but I mean, there's no way to stop anybody from creating a teacher account. It's free for anybody to use. So, I mean, if a student really wanted to create a lesson hook, they could sign up for an account and create a lesson hook if they wanted to. Now, uh, these tools here are more focused for instructors. Khan Academy again has Khanmigo built into their courses, but that is more for a tutor when you sign up for one of their courses here then. And so if students are, let's say, taking an algebra course or whatnot, and they come across a problem that they're having issues with, this Khanmigo icon will appear and they can ask Khanmigo like, hey, I don't understand this problem. Can you help me? Again, just like how we're chatting with Khanmigo now, that's available for students, but it's only available in the Khan Academy courses here. Outside of that though, it's not, it wouldn't be available for students.
I guess, Karen, you want to clarify? So I
Yeah,
think she's asking about student tools. Like, Khan Academy, do they have student tools that are free? Or would they have to pay? Not necessarily this one, Kamigo, but
ah,
other student tools.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so they don't have specific tools like how they do here for teachers. Uh, yeah, they don't have a separate set for students or anything. It's only the sort of um, tutoring tool that's built into their system. yeah, these Khanmigo tools here are only part of the teacher tools then. Yeah. Okay. The next example that I'm going to show is a real world context generator. So again, I'm going to select the grade level. And let's say, again, I'm teaching an English class. Let's say I have a learning outcome that focuses again on research and the integration um, of sources. So students will learn to conduct. And let's see what it comes up with. Okay. So here are some ideas. That it came up with here. And so I could give my students a scenario. So having them play a specific role, focusing on a specific topic. Um, so I can read over these and see which one may be most realistic uh, for what my students are experiencing, or maybe what's going on currently in the world or in the news or whatnot, and modify it to fit um, uh, the learning outcome that I want to accomplish as well too. So I like this last one here uh, about being able to address misinformation um, and correcting false information here. So again, I can click on any one of these. I can make changes to it. I can have a discussion about it. And again, Khanmigo will provide information on this specific scenario here. Um, and so again, really, it's just what is it that you're looking for and how you can align it with what you're doing in your class. I'm not gonna go over in detail the specifics of this specific example, but just so that you understand the type of information that Khanmigo is generating. All right. Clear directions here. I know a lot of us already have instructions in our Canvas courses and everything. And so reflecting on, past experiences and whatnot. Were there specific assignments or maybe activities in your class where students just didn't get it? So maybe this might be a good example for us to copy and paste the instructions we currently have and put it in here to see what Khanmigo comes up with. And see if it helps to clarify the instructions for students then. And so again, I'm going to create, select college as my level here. I'm going to stick with my credible sources. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay. So it does a good job of breaking down each step. Now, again, if I wanted to, I can add and make changes, but I like the what it generated here is an outline for me to get started. Again, if I have specific sources or specific databases that I want students to look through, I can always modify this and add it in here as well. But I do like this so far. And so I can simply just copy and paste or export this into my Canvas course and just, again, just complete the instructions for my class here. And so again, when you're looking at your courses, if there are any past assignments or activities that students kind of struggled with, or you received a lot of questions in the past about this, or maybe you made a note that, oh yeah, I'm going to go back and revisit this, but you never got a chance to, using this tool here can really help you to just kind of break down what you currently have into smaller, easy to follow instructions here then. Now the next one here is exit ticket. And really, exit tickets can be used, as a end of module reflection, check-in at the end of a lecture to make sure that students understood the objective for the day. Maybe it's at the end of a module or a unit that you're covering. Really, it's just a quick assessment to really check that students understood what was being covered. Let's see, so again, continuing with my citations and credible sources, let's say students will learn to conduct basic and really, if you had an outcome or um, a learning objective or whatnot for your module, you can simply copy and paste that into this field here to create an exit ticket. So this is just a simple question to check, you know, to double check student learning and everything. And so this is what it generated. If I don't like it, I can modify it again. Or if I do like it, I can simply just copy and paste, maybe create a non-graded quiz in Canvas so that at the end of a module, students take this and just reflect on their learning and their work through that module to see if they actually understood what the objective was for that module. So again, really just quick, informative assessment for students here. Okay, are there any questions while I take a water break?
There are no questions on the chat. Oh, John Wilson just asked. Or, oh, okay, he just made a comment.
I can do that audibly if that's okay. I think it's a great tool. The exit ticket's a great tool. Generally we all have our objectives at the beginning of the course. And I don't know about you all, but some of us seem to either run out of time or it gets close as the class is ending. And if there's a way to leave something with the student at the end of the course as a place marker for the next course, or the next class, when you start the next class, you can always refer back to the previous one. And this exit ticket sounds like a really great, that's usually how I start my classes. Y'all remember what we did in the last class? And the answer is invariably no. So I think that's a very powerful tool to help students kind of connect each class one to the next. And I think it also keeps us sharp too. So we remember what we covered in the previous class. That's all. Wanted to share that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, John. And I really like how you point out, even though this tool here is called Exit Ticket, really you could use it at the beginning of a class as well to review what we discussed at the last class period or what was discussed in the last module and everything. So really it's just making those connections for students and, refreshing their memory on what it is that they've learned and how that connects with what you're moving on to. And so, yeah, thank you for sharing that. And for giving me a break from talking. All right. I know a lot of us use discussions in our classes and everything. And so I wanted to point this one out here as well too. And again, you just put in your, select college and then you can select a topic. Let's say, I'm just gonna put AI down here. And see what it comes up with. And so maybe I'm talking about AI in my class, not in my, well, I could talk about it in my English class too, but maybe I want to focus on the ethical implications or maybe the impact or, the privacy and security and whatnot. And so these are ideas that were generated from Khanmigo here, but maybe I really want to have students focus on thinking about how AI is going to impact their future work. And so I like this idea here. I like the questions here. And so again, I can have a discussion.
Could you click that again, please?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Could you click that once more, please?
Yes. Yep. So again, you can highlight from what was generated here. You can hover on the side here, and it has these bars. And when you click on that bar, click on this one, it has these three icons on the side. And so if this is one that you like, okay, yeah, I want to refine this one, you can always click on that, the discuss this. And it'll bring this specific one into the conversation with Khanmigo over here. Now let's say you like all of them. You can, this chat menu on the side, it's always here, but it's just uh, um, not visible, but you can always expand it by clicking on this little arrow that's on the side with the logo here as well too. And so maybe from all of these ideas, you're like, okay, yes, I like all of them, but um, uh, can you combine them into just one discussion topic or one discussion prompt and whatnot? And so that's also another way for you to bring out this sort of chat menu, chat option here to refine what it is that is being output then. But again, I picked this one here and then it opened up the side menu for me. And provided additional information here. And again, I can just continue my conversation in here. Now, lastly, I wanted to just look at the lesson plan and show you what it generates. So when you're searching here, it's going to search, when you put in the topic here, it's going to search through the topics that Khan Academy has as a course already. So again, those courses, if you click on this Explore tab, these are all of their courses. So when I'm typing in a topic here, I'm going to go back to my research one. These search results are courses that are available through Khan Academy here. And you can use their courses here if it's aligned with what you're trying to do in your class. But if it isn't, though, the last option here is to provide your own content. And so I can just click on that and I can copy and paste my learning objective into this text box here. If I want to provide additional context or background information, I can do that here as well. And then I'm just going to hit start. And it's going to do its thinking. And as college instructors, when we think of lesson plans, okay, that's very K-12-ish. But really, it's an outline for us as we're planning our lectures, as we're planning our modules and everything. And so whatever it is that you want to call it, I think this tool here still provides good information for us to get started, especially when we're starting from scratch then. And so here is based off of what I put in as the learning objective. It created maybe a student-facing objective that I want to put in the beginning of my module. It came up with different learning activities. During direct instruction, here are some topics you can cover. Here are some activities that you can do, maybe independent student work. Again, that exit ticket, different kind of resources, related to this topic. Here's a breakdown if we're doing a live lecture or an in-class lecture or whatnot. And so again, it provides me a good start so that I can use this information and customize it to what I'm doing in my class then. And really, this is helpful for any online or any face-to-face class that you're teaching as well too. Yeah, good question, Kathleen. So in Khanmigo here, I can say, okay, and really, this is what's going to lead me into my next topic as well, too, is how we prompt our questions to ChatGPT or to generative AI so that it gives us the results that we really want. And so based off of my question here or what I'm asking Khanmigo to do, it's saying, okay, yeah, so here are these activities that we said, but now maybe these are ideas that we can use in an online class then. And so again, really, it just goes back to how we prompt these tools to generate what it is that we're looking for. All right. Are there any questions? One last thing before I leave Khanmigo here. So we did all of these examples and everything, and I showed you how you can save or print or whatnot. Next to the tools, you also have my documents. And so anything that I've created is stored here. So I can always come back to it. I can modify it. I can go back and select different activities that were generated that I didn't use. And so again, that's in my documents tab over here. So you have your tools tab and you have your my documents tab here. All right, so after looking at Khanmigo and the different tools that are available, just start thinking about, some ways that you might want to use Khanmigo. Then you said no, thank you, which is perfectly fine. If it's not something that you have to use or anything like that. It's if you want to, and if it meets what you're trying to do in your class. Khanmigo also provides some information on how to use their chat, how to have your conversations with Khanmigo. You really want to be clear. And so, I believe that prompting is the key to getting the output that we want. And it's going to be the most helpful and useful for what it is that we're asking. And so, be specific, copy and paste your learning outcomes, take it from your syllabus or from the textbook, and be specific. If the outcome is not what you're looking for, continue to ask questions and be active in the conversation. And then also really just think about how it connects concepts and how you can enhance your approach in approach to the concepts and whatnot. Really, when using these tools, not just Khanmigo, but you really want to avoid being vague to ensure that that generative AI understands what your intent is. So instead of just typing in create a study guide on math. Really, maybe it might be create a study guide to help first year college students prepare for, the concept of algebra or whatnot, and list that. What are important terms? What are some key concepts and whatnot? that'll help to really refine the output that's being generated. So besides what Khanmigo suggests, I have some additional prompting tips that I've also come across. And one is providing context. So if your prompt is on a specific topic, add additional background information. Use open-ended questions, asking for detailed responses. For example, what was generated earlier was, more suited for in person, but I'm looking for online. And so I can ask that then. Break down complex questions into multiple questions. And then really just clarify and ask to refine the output then. I'm not going to do this activity for the lack of time here, but again, really, let's say if I started my prompt with, I want to take a European vacation and where do I go and whatnot. I mean, I can put it in Google, I can put it in ChatGPT, wherever. But really, if I want a better result, I need to clarify what it is that I'm trying to accomplish or what it is that I'm trying to do. And so a better prompt would be, okay, it's a 3-day trip, focused on art museums, whatnot, and everything like that. Give me an itinerary, give me accommodation suggestions with the schedule and everything. That is being very specific in my request then. And so that's going to generate something that's closer to what I really want as an output then. All right, so here is just an outline of how to craft your prompts for better responses. And you can start by identifying yourself in your role. In that previous example, let's say I'm a travel agent or whatnot. So in your searches and in your interactions with generative AI, you could say I'm a college instructor, or I teach these courses, or I teach this subject and whatnot. And then provide context. So what is it that you're looking for? Give a specific assignment topic, or again, what is your learning outcome that you're trying to accomplish. Include what it is that you are looking for and how you want it to be generated. So again, like if it's an online class or if it's an in-person class, maybe it's a 10-week, a 9-week course, or what, or a 9-week outline that I want. Maybe it's for a small group project, but I want the roles clarified. Again, just providing the guidance for the tool to create this for me. And really just continuing that conversation in ChatGPT now and in most of the generative AI tools, it'll continue that conversation based off of the initial prompt that you had. And so you can always ask this to ask generative AI to rewrite this or clarify this, which is what I do as well too when I don't really like the responses that are given to me. I just ask it to refine or combine these two. And so again, just continuing that dialogue in that chat to give you the proper suggestions that you'd like to see. So today, as I mentioned, I showed you Khanmigo, but as you know, there are so many other AI tools out there, and really, they're not all the same. And so, explore and research to see which ones give you the results that are closer to what it is that you're looking for. I know a lot of these also include paid for versions, and many of us do have those paid for versions, but some of us don't, and we're just using the free tools, which is fine as well too. But really, again, try different tools to see which one actually provides the information that you're looking for. Again, now in a lot of these, as I mentioned earlier, one of the key differences in Khanmigo is all I had to put was the grade level that I was teaching at and the topic, and it provided me some ideas and suggestions already. If I'm using ChatGPT or Copilot, any of these other ones, in my prompt, I would have to say, I am teaching at this grade level. This is my learning outcome, and I want you to create class notes, or I want you to create, multiple choice questions, or I want you to create this and whatnot. And so again, it goes back to how we prompt these tools and what results we're trying to achieve then as well. So when we're thinking of how to use AI, really, for me personally, I find that using AI is faster at analyzing data than I am. And it does things faster than I would be able to do. And so I want to use AI's capability of doing things faster to help me to do my job and what it is that I need to do. And so again, when it's creating from scratch or brainstorming or summarizing a long article or something like that, I just want AI to do that, and I will again review the information to see if it's accurate or not, then and make modifications based on what it is that I want. I can also use AI to do things that I have on my to-do list, which have been on my to-do list for a while. And so maybe things that I said, okay, yes, I made a mental note, I was going to go back and do this, but really the past 2 semesters, I haven't had time. So, all right, so maybe that's something that I can have AI do for me then. And so really just looking and identifying tasks where AI can handle things more efficiently, and looking at my workflow to see where I can streamline some processes by incorporating AI tools. So these are just some general ideas on how you can use AI when it comes to instruction. So again, that transforming long, complex texts into summaries, making it easier for students to understand the key concepts or to really just review that information. Maybe it's rephrasing or simplifying some instructional text, making it clear for students. Maybe it's generating a short, engaging announcement that introduces a new topic or upcoming activities in my class, and also focusing on capturing students' attention and setting expectations. So I can throw that into AI, and it can shoot something out, and I can just customize that. Maybe it's extracting or summarizing key points from a lecture, or I want AI to create some structured notes or talking points that students can have, so that as they're reviewing, watching, or listening to my lecture, they understand what it is that they need to really listen to then. You can have AI to help you to generate ideas. And so again, this is, if it's, trying to come up with research questions or topics related to a specific subject area, maybe have AI identify emerging trends or gaps, or suggest topics that may combine different disciplines that you may have not thought about. Maybe have, when you're adding your learning outcomes, you can specifically tell AI to recommend different assignment types. Make this a research paper, make this a case study, or look at this as a presentation project, based on whatever skills you want students to learn. You can also suggest, different levels of complexity, based on your students' needs. So these are high school students taking college courses. These are STEM major students. These are first year students and whatnot. And really, have AI suggest different learning activities, and again consider the modality, time limits, and class sizes as well too. And again, for any of the assignments that we create, so maybe it's creating questions, creating exemplar work so that we can show students, this is my expectation of your submission and your work. Maybe it's to create a rubric for an assignment with a different range and scale and everything. Really, it's about using AI to ease our workflow in creating content that supports learning. All right, but AI can do quite a bit for us, especially with repetitive tasks and everything. But there are two points that I want us to continue to think about as AI continues to evolve, and really academic integrity. And this was mentioned earlier as well too, student plagiarism. But as we're using these tools to help us in our teaching in crafting our content and everything, are we being transparent to our students as well too? And so again, we should model that as well for our students and show them how it should be done. And then also thinking about data and privacy of our information. Not only our information, student information, how is this data being collected? Who has access to it? What is this data being used for? And really, right now, some of these are just questions and they don't have answers, but they're definitely things that should be part of the AI discussion. And ultimately, at the end, we also need to keep in mind that any generated suggestions, ideas, it still needs human oversight. And so you still need to review for accuracy. You know your subject, you know your field, and so you want to check that information that's being generated to make sure that it's definitely accurate. I realize that we are running out of time here. So resources here, again, we have our Senate AI task force, which has a course in Canvas. So thank you to the AI task force, especially to Jason Thomas for creating this resource for all faculty to have. I also have listed other resources here as well too for you. But again, I know that was a wealth of information, but I will stick around if you have any questions. And also look for flex day evaluations that will be coming in your emails then. But if there are no further questions, thank you all for attending my session today. Yeah, and have a great semester, everybody.